Deep beneath the streets of New York City, something enormous lies hidden. Abandoned subway tunnels stretch for miles, wrapped in total silence. But New York City is not the only American city with a forgotten underground world. Beneath Cincinnati, Ohio, there exists a ghost subway system that was never completed. Cincinnati subway tunnels stretch nearly 2 miles beneath the city streets. These tunnels have sat completely empty for over 100 years. No train has ever carried a single passenger through the Cincinnati subway tunnels. Today, we descend into the darkness to uncover the truth behind America's most haunting urban failure. To understand the Cincinnati ghost subway, we must travel back to the year 1884. Cincinnati in the late 1880s was one of the most prosperous and rapidly growing cities in America. The Cincinnati city population had swelled to nearly 300,000 residents by 1880. Cincinnati streets were paralyzed every single day by horse-drawn streetcars and massive traffic congestion. City leaders desperately needed a bold solution to Cincinnati's crippling transportation problem. In 1884, Cincinnati engineers proposed a bold underground rapid transit system beneath the city. Cincinnati would become the first city in the United States to build a fully underground subway. Cincinnati city officials approved the subway project and allocated $6 million in funding. The planned Cincinnati subway loop would stretch 16 miles beneath the entire city. Cincinnati subway stations were designed to be grand and architecturally magnificent structures. The Cincinnati subway would handle over 100,000 daily commuters once fully operational. Cincinnati civic leaders celebrated their ambitious subway vision as the future of the American city. But a shadow was already gathering over the Cincinnati subway dream. The Cincinnati subway project would soon encounter forces that no engineer could have predicted. Construction on the Cincinnati subway officially began in the year 1920. Cincinnati workers began excavating the old Miami and Erie Canal bed to create the subway tunnel. Repurposing the Cincinnati Canal bed was considered an ingenious and cost-saving engineering decision. Over 2,000 Cincinnati construction workers labored day and night beneath the city streets. By 1923, Cincinnati subway workers had successfully completed nearly 2 miles of concrete tunnel. The Cincinnati subway tunnel walls were solid, thick, and built to last for centuries. But then, a catastrophic problem emerged that stopped the entire Cincinnati subway project cold. World War I had caused massive inflation across the entire United States economy. The original $6 million Cincinnati subway budget was now catastrophically insufficient. Cincinnati city officials scrambled desperately to secure additional funding from the state government. The state government refused to allocate additional money to the Cincinnati subway project. Cincinnati subway construction was suspended in 1927 due to complete financial collapse. Cincinnati workers abandoned their tools, their blueprints, and their unfinished tunnels in silence. The Cincinnati subway tunnels went dark, and they have remained dark ever since. Over the following decades, Cincinnati city planners made multiple attempts to revive the subway project. In the 1930s, Cincinnati engineers proposed converting the abandoned subway tunnels into bomb shelters. The Cincinnati bomb shelter proposal was ultimately rejected due to concerns about flooding and structural safety. During World War II, Cincinnati officials again considered using the tunnels for civil defense purposes. Once again, the Cincinnati Underground Tunnel plans were abandoned without any decisive action. In the 1940s, a new proposal emerged to complete the Cincinnati subway using federal highway funding. But the rise of automobile culture in post-war America killed the Cincinnati subway revival plan once again. Americans in the 1950s fell deeply in love with the freedom of private automobiles and expressways. Public transit systems across America were systematically defunded in favor of highways and automobiles. The Cincinnati subway tunnels became a symbol of every great American urban dream that was never fulfilled. For decades, the Cincinnati city government simply sealed the subway entrances and chose to forget. Below the busy Cincinnati streets, the abandoned subway tunnels aged in complete and total isolation. Entire generations of Cincinnati residents grew up completely unaware of the ghost subway beneath their feet. The Cincinnati Ghost Subway became one of the greatest and most expensive municipal secrets in American history. Today, urban explorers and historians descend into the Cincinnati subway tunnels with flashlights and cameras. The Cincinnati subway tunnels are eerily preserved, concrete platforms still intact after 100 years. Old construction markings from the 1920s are still visible on the Cincinnati subway tunnel walls. Historians describe the Cincinnati subway as a perfectly preserved time capsule from the Jazz Age. The air inside the Cincinnati subway tunnels is cool, damp, and carries the scent of forgotten history. Sections of Cincinnati subway tunnel are so intact that they appear ready to receive trains at any moment. Yet no train has moved through these Cincinnati tunnels in over a century of complete stillness. The longest Cincinnati subway station platform stretches nearly 500 feet through the underground darkness. Cincinnati subway station walls still bear faded painted signs from the original 1920s construction era. Rainwater has seeped through Cincinnati subway tunnel cracks, creating mysterious underground pools. Urban explorers have documented strange acoustic phenomena echoing through the Cincinnati subway chambers. Some Cincinnati explorers report an uncanny feeling of being watched deep inside the abandoned tunnels. Local Cincinnati legends claim that the ghost subway is haunted by the spirits of its original builders. Whether supernatural or merely psychological, the Cincinnati underground atmosphere is undeniably disturbing. The Cincinnati Metropolitan Sewer District now officially owns and manages the abandoned subway tunnel system. The Cincinnati subway tunnels are used today primarily for stormwater drainage and utility conduits. New York City's own abandoned subway stations share a deeply haunting kinship with Cincinnati's ghost tunnels. The old City Hall station beneath New York City was sealed shut and abandoned in the year 1945. The old City Hall subway station features breathtaking vaulted Guastavino tile ceilings and skylights. New York's abandoned City Hall station sits frozen in elegant 1904 architecture beneath modern Manhattan streets. Both New York and Cincinnati underground systems were abandoned not because of engineering failure, but because of money. America's forgotten underground spaces reveal a pattern of grand ambition colliding with brutal financial reality. Urban historians call these phantom transit systems the greatest unrealized infrastructure stories of the 20th century. Experts estimate that completing the Cincinnati subway today would cost over $2 billion. The original $6 million Cincinnati subway investment has essentially been buried forever underground. Adjusted for modern inflation, that original Cincinnati subway investment represents over $100 million today. Transportation analysts argue that had Cincinnati completed the subway, the entire Midwest would look different today. A functioning Cincinnati subway could have prevented the severe population decline that struck the city after 1960. Cincinnati's population fell from nearly 500,000 in 1950 to under 300,000 people by 2010. Researchers believe better public transit would have anchored Cincinnati's urban core and prevented suburban flight. The untold cost of the Cincinnati subway's absence may be the city's entire lost future. This is the invisible price of the ghost subway, measured not in dollars, but in decades of lost potential. In recent years, Cincinnati urban renewal advocates have proposed transforming the subway tunnels into tourist attractions. Architects have envisioned the Cincinnati subway tunnels as underground art galleries and cultural performance spaces. Some Cincinnati engineers believe the ghost subway tunnels could still be repurposed for modern light rail transit. Cincinnati city officials periodically open the ghost subway tunnels for guided historical tours. Thousands of curious Cincinnati residents have descended into the ghost subway tunnels during these rare open events. Visitors to the Cincinnati Ghost Subway consistently describe the experience as profoundly emotional and deeply moving. Standing on a Cincinnati Ghost Subway platform, visitors feel the enormous weight of a century's worth of broken dreams. The Cincinnati Ghost Subway stands as a monument to the fragile nature of every human ambition. America is filled with the buried ruins of grand plans that ran out of time, money, and political will. New York City's own forgotten underground stations whisper the same silent story of ambition interrupted. Beneath every great American city, layers of abandoned infrastructure record the dreams that nearly were. The Cincinnati Ghost Subway is not merely an urban curiosity, it is a warning echoing from the past. The darkness beneath Cincinnati's streets still waits, patient, silent, and endlessly ready for a train that will never come.